Hello, welcome to Mental Health. This is Fan Edition, Episode 2, with a really good friend of mine, Mark Hughes. Not only is he a really good friend of mine, I miss him dearly since he moved back to the West Coast. And Mark Hughes has an epic podcast called Pulling the Trigger. I'll let Mark tell you about his life a bit before I get into the interview, because it's pretty fantastic. Yeah. So Mark Hughes.
Yeah. The woke coast. I don't know, man. Toronto looks like it's might be beating the woke coast. I think you guys might.
Up. The whole country fucked, but yeah.
Yeah. So I'm out here in Vancouver. And I'm from Vancouver. Lived here most of my life. I was born in Edmonton. Ew, gross. Edmonton, no wonder he's so fucked up and had a heroin problem. I moved to Vancouver when I was 5. Yada yada yada. Come from like a family that's like part okay and part really fucked up. Like really fucked up. I didn't realize how fucked up it was until I started doing comedy. Actually, that was like. Doing comedy is when I realized how fucked up my life had been, because I'd never really been around like what I would call normal people before. And then, so I guess I should clarify what I mean by fucked up life. So I started doing drugs when I was 13, just like most other kids, but I took to it like a fish to water. And I took the advanced course. And by the time I was 15, I was in Vancouver's downtown east side using IV, so intravenous cocaine and heroin. And I used to steal to support my habit. And I used to go to jail a lot because I'd get caught for stealing to support my habit. And in, out of jail, out onto the street, shooting dope in back alleys, back into jail. Then when I was in my early 20s, I got a 8-year prison sentence, which later turned into a 9-year prison sentence. And I served 7 of that. And I got out in 2007, got clean and sober while I was in the joint. I'm an abstinence-based 12-step recovery guy. If I can hold on till September, I've been clean and sober 14 years, actually.
It's too bad we can't get fronts on our sobriety, but yeah.
Yeah, I know. No
fronts.
Yeah, no fronts. And, I've been out since 2007. I've put my life back together, or not life back together. I never had one really before. I had to build a life from scratch. It was hard. I had lots of help though from lots of people. Reintegrating back into society was very difficult, but I mean, slowly but surely, day by day, incrementally, I got better at it and better at it. I wouldn't say I have it mastered, and then when I was, I think I'd been out of prison 5.5 years when I started doing comedy. And it was really just something to do. I wasn't like the biggest comedy fan. I was just like, people had told me, oh, you're funny. Your Facebook statuses are funny. So I thought, okay, I'll try comedy. And 7 years later, here I am still doing it. Except for Corona.
Yeah, that sucks.
No.
But I love your comedy.
Yeah, I like yours too.
Oh, we'll make it later.
Okay.
But first question, did metal help you turn your life around?
Yes, because when I got clean, I was locked up, and I needed something to do to keep me like kind of in prison. In Canada, you're allowed to like order CDs.
Okay. So
ordering CDs and looking forward to getting CDs and like researching with bands and stuff like that gave me something to. It was like a hobby, basically. It gave me something to feel kind of interested and passionate about. So that's how metal. And I started listening to metal just before I started doing drugs. And then I started doing drugs and I didn't listen to anything. But so someone had told me, when you get clean, try to do things that you used to do before you started using drugs to see if you might like them again or not, right? And I mean, to put it in perspective, when I started using drugs, Super Nintendo was the fucking main one, right?
Well,
so that was out. But I remember I'd listened to Black Sabbath, a bit of Iron Maiden, some Judas Priest, Van Halen, things like that. So I started there. I went, oh yeah, I remember Metal. That was cool. And I was like, oh, this is neat. And then Metallica, of course, and Megadeth. And then I then I graduated to Slayer. And I remember when I first heard Slayer, I'm like, oh, that's because I listened to Hell Awaits first. And the guy who gave it to me, lent it to me, a guy in the joint. He said, this is a bit intense, man. I don't know if you're going to like this. I went, no, I can't do it. And at first I thought, Slayer's too intense, man. Wow, I got scared listening to it, right? And then I heard South of Heaven, and that got me into Slayer. And then once I was into Slayer, then I liked death metal and black metal and stuff like that. Yeah.
Awesome. You just advanced from there as far as I
you know, you have to kind of ease your way into some of these things, right? You can't start right at intravenous Cannibal Corpse. You got to do a little bit of Metallica Marijuana, right?
Yeah, that's true. I agree. I remember the first time someone lent me the Death album, Human. I didn't like it because it was like the guy's voice. It was what it is, and
the harmony and melodies are not. It's different than anything, right? And
than what you're used to. Like,
yeah,
I was like a Devil Driver and Slipknot kind of guy at the time. I still love those bands, but I've advanced since then. But you gotta love the entry level metal bands too, you know.
Still do.
Yeah, exactly.
This day, like I still like Van Halen, which isn't technically heavy metal.
No.
Right. Even Black Sabbath, if you listen to it compared to a lot of other heavy metal, it's not really heavy metal by today's standards.
Not by today's standards,
it's
no.
Just,
but
I mean,
leaps and bounds ahead of anyone else at the time.
I even like old Motley Crue.
Yeah.
Too Fast for Love. Give it a spin.
That's cool.
Give Too Fast for Love a spin, bud. Serious.
It's hair. It's not even.
No, not Too Fast for Love. It's
no.
More,
okay, maybe I just know everything else about them in the years afterwards. And
listen, I used to think they were gay. Then you see the movie, and you're like, okay, no, they weren't very gay. Actually, they were pretty fucking wow. Holy shit.
Yeah, I didn't watch the movie. Maybe we'll check that out.
It's a good movie.
Yeah,
good movie. It's called The Dirt. Yeah, really good. Yeah,
cool.
Very.
For you, Mark.
There's a lot of themes that we can relate to, not just music.
Okay. Yeah. Drug abuse. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. What was the best concert you've been to, and what was the worst concert you've been to, and why? Because I know you've seen a lot. Because
I've seen a few
shows after not spending it all on drugs.
One of the sad things about doing comedy is I don't go to shows as much anymore because there's always comedy to do, and comedy's just always been a priority for me. And now after COVID, there won't be any shows for a while, but whatever. That's a different discussion. Okay, best show, hands down. Iron Maiden, Somewhere Back in Time, 2008. Hands down, best show ever saw in my fucking life.
They put on a great live show. Even nowadays, I saw them in like 2017.
Okay, worst show. Fuck. I mean, the worst show is okay. Let me think.
For me, while you think about it, a lot of people are gonna get pissed off that I'm saying this, but for me, it was Metallica. I saw them on the Saint Anger tour in 2003.
Right.
And the best band on that whole tour was Mudvayne.
Right.
I really liked their set. Limp Bizkit was cool, but that was because I was really into nu metal at the time, and because it was on the way out. And Linkin Park is Linkin Park. I'm not going to waste time talking about them. And then Metallica was cool. Like, they sounded a lot better than on the actual Saint Anger CD. But at the end of the show, you get Kirk Hammond saying, "Thank you very much," with his little squeaky fucking, voice. And it was just like, shut up. You shouldn't have said a damn thing. I don't like Metallica. I don't care what you think, people. I don't. And this is my opinion. There's a reason why it says Megadeth up there. Sorry.
Right.
Back to you, Mark.
There's been a few. You know, I'm going to go and say the most disappointing show I ever went to is I went to see Suffocation, and I waited the whole night, all the opening bands, and then it wasn't Frank Mullen on vocals. So it's not Suffocation's fault, but I didn't know he wasn't on the tour.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'd left, didn't even listen to one song, not even one. Yeah, and but because it was just like, I don't want to see them live if it's not him. It's just,
yeah,
that's just me, man. I don't want. It's not that they're one of those bands where he needs to be the front man for me to like them. I can't. Yeah,
that's true. I saw them. I forget who. Maybe it was Carcass in 2008. They opened for or something like that.
yeah.
I went to that show. Aborted was there, I think. Either that or Belphegor. I don't remember exactly who was there, but they put on a great live show. It was freaking awesome. Yeah. As far as like something being disappointed and leaving, I went and saw Devil Driver and Machine Head, and the main guy from Machine Head was sick and couldn't sing, so they were asking fans to come up and sing the songs. And my brother is a huge Machine Head fan, and he was like, I don't want to see them if they're not at their best. So after Devil Driver, we left. Devil Driver was awesome. I was on the rail, right front center. Dez goes to the rail, puts the mic down for like I think it was knee deep. So it was like knee deep in the pit, all together in the shit, all together in the pit for life, and that was awesome.
I saw what the fuck's that band? Lexi Aho, what's his name?
Children of Bodom.
I don't like them at all.
Yeah,
and Demu Borger, I didn't like them at all either.
Yeah.
A lot of people like those ones.
True.
Yep, don't like them.
I remember going to see Lamb of God was headlining, Fear Factory was there, and Children of Bodom opened because it was in Canada in like 2004, and not a lot of people knew about them. But the people who did know about Bodom left after Bodom.
Okay, wow.
It was like, why would you not stick around for Fear Factory and Lamb of God? Like,
right.
That's my opinion.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. There's lots of bands I don't like, but that's probably like you don't like Slayer very much.
No, I don't.
But I don't like Anthrax that much.
I don't like
Few
Anthrax
songs
either. I had the opportunity. I went and saw them. They were headlining. The opening band was Killswitch Engage. I
don't like them either.
Yeah, I know, but it's not the exact subgenre of your preference. But I really liked them, especially when the first two albums and End of Heartache was awesome. And so I stayed for Killswitch Engage. And this was when I didn't live in Toronto, so I had to drive 2 hours to go there. But just down the street was an open mic. It was the shit one because it's on the Danforth Enemies of Ian, right? So I left the show and I went and did an open mic and then came back to the show.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it was fun.
Neat.
Yeah, that was that story.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did you do well at the open mic?
Yeah, it was pretty good. And I met this girl at the show too, and she came along to the open mic with me because she didn't want to see Anthrax either.
Oh, cool. Yeah. I saw Anthrax with seen them a couple times now. They opened for Slayer the last time I saw Slayer live, and I just left and went outside while they were on.
Yeah.
And another time they were with Exodus was opening for Anthrax, but I went to go see Exodus.
Yeah, Exodus puts on a great show.
Great live show.
When I saw Creator, Exodus blew them out of the water. Like, it was awesome. And don't get me wrong, it's not like I hate Slayer or anything.
Yeah.
I do have some preferred albums, but for the most part, I just don't like Kerry King. You know, that's me. But God Hates Us All, I love that one, and because I listened to that a lot in high school. And obviously, Rain and Blood is it's the Rain and Blood, and but out of all the albums they put out, I've only got 2 or 3 that I'd really like to own in my collection.
Yeah, I've met people like you.
But we're all brothers, and metal is a community. Whether what subgenre you like or not, that's your preference, you know.
Yep.
Some people love dicks, you know, and that's just how it is. I still love you.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you, could you listen to metal in prison? But you already asked, so you already answered that.
Sure could. Yep.
Yeah.
Sure could.
So that's cool. You can, yeah.
Sometimes some of the case management staff would see the fucking. You have to sometimes put it like you have to get someone to sign off if you're going to purchase something.
Yeah.
One of your case managers, and sometimes they'd see the album titles, and they'd go, "Oh,
like
I don't know."
Doom of the Mutilated.
Yeah, shit like that, or like what was the one that caused trouble? Fucking. There was one that caused fucking a big amount of trouble. It was Sepultura Schizophrenia.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they did not like it, and then they started saying, "Well, are you sure this listening to this music is part of your correctional plan? Meaning, is it interfering with your rehabilitation?" Right.
Oh wow.
One of the reasons I got into comedy too is because I got comedy to me is about freedom, right? Being able to say, yeah. So I because in prison I actually lived in a totalitarian environment where they control what you're allowed to see, what you're allowed to do. Like people might be thinking, well, you were allowed to listen to music. Yeah, but they can fucking decide you're not allowed to any moment. They read your mail. They like certain things. If you say certain things, they can say that's not you're going against your rehabilitation plan and stuff like that, right? Like you're being monitored all the time. So one of the reasons I like comedy is because theoretically I'm able to go up and say whatever I want to for the most part. The contract is as long as it's funny. I'm not just supposed to read my manifesto while I'm up there. But so the contract is as long as I make it into a joke, then I can say, and you get enjoyment as an audience member, then okay, you go, okay, I like that. And then I can say whatever I want. Right. And, that's one of the reasons I stay out of prison is because I never want to have to be like, want to order a song or a fucking album and then have them go, are you sure this is like part of your like rehabilitation program? Like, fuck off, man. I never want to hear that again. So.
Yeah. And then now with comedy, it's
comics are your case managers.
Yeah, they're your case managers, and punchlines are optional.
Yeah.
And your most important thing is to say obvious things that everyone agrees with.
Yes.
No contrast.
Yeah.
Just be completely obvious.
Yeah.
And
make sure
yeah.
make sure all your jokes have some social message in them that is all over social media anyway, that everyone is already saying, similar to what you said. And somehow you're brave if you do that, though. I don't know how.
It's true.
Yeah.
Sad.
Yeah.
All right, Mark. Thank you very much for being on Mental Health. Is there anything you want to plug before we go?
Nah. Just if people want to come check me out, I'm easy to find on social media. Mark Hughes Comedy or Comic, some variation there. You can find me.
It's pretty awesome because a year ago I was on your podcast.
Yeah,
and then
go check out Robbie's episode. It's easy to find on my YouTube channel.
Yeah, and now you're on mine. Love you, brother.
Yeah.
Have a good day.
Okay. Bye-bye.